If you stop using your husband's desire as proof that you're attractive, that you're loved, that you're safe, right? If you stop using those things, right, then what do you build on your side that changes the experience of being you, or creating the experience that is creating this right now? Because at the end of the day, you do have power, but you have to know how to use it. I want to show you the rejection attraction cycle. There you go. I want to give you something to work with today. The rejection attraction cycle. Boom. Yeah. All right. So in real life, this is still triggered by rejection. Okay. This is still right. So the answer to rejection is not getting better at extracting reassurance, which is what leads to testing, to proving, to pressuring, right? So you have this option, like I showed you earlier on, right? You have this option, right? From rejection breeds obsession, and what happens is that you suddenly start to feel the need to test. This is easy, by the way, because it happens naturally. You start testing, right? Proving, right? And then pressuring you. You go that route that basically leads to more rejection, right? Instead of going that direction, I'm going to show you something differently, okay? And we're going to map it to what you're trying to create, which is ultimately what we're trying to create here, guys. What we're trying to create is what we call, let's see here. We're trying to create attraction. Okay, it's an outcome. So there's a process that you have to go through in order to create this outcome. Okay, the problem with going the route of panic, fear driven, easy route of testing, proving, pressurizing, obsession over, is he talking to someone? The problem with that is you're essentially trying to do this. You're trying to do you're trying to create a direct link between here and here. That's a problem. Winners understand this is a problem. Losers always try to do this. I'm not calling you a loser. I'm just talking about losing strategy. Okay. All right. So, but you're not generating the result you're looking for, obviously. So we know that this never works. Okay. There's no such thing as this in real life. Make sense? It doesn't exist in real life. Okay. So what I'm going to show you is first of all, understand, acknowledge, know that in life, if you're anything worthwhile that you're going to get, that is great, that is good, right? That is long lasting, that is sustainable, is going to have to come from a process. It's going to have to come from 3 P's, right? It's going to come from a process. Okay. One of the P's is prayer, but prayer without work is dead, right? You guys know that, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a second, right? But prayer is a place of it's going to come from 3 P's. Okay, prayer, patience, and process. Okay, prayer, patience, and process. Patience does not mean you're waiting on the other person. It just means you understand that it's a process that consumes a little bit of time. All right, and that's something you leverage in your favor. Okay, so the idea I'm sharing with you is going to gravitate away from the idea of obsessive testing and trying to prove and then creating pressure, and then they withdraw even further away from you, making you experience rejection all over. We're going to try something else. Okay, we're going to go in the direction of grounding. Okay, you cannot force desire out of another adult. You cannot demand desire. You can seduce your partner into desire. You do have that power, ladies, but you have to know how to use it, okay? But first, let's go back to grounding, okay? Time is your friend in this case. Time is your friend. Time is no longer your enemy because you're no longer desperate. You're not desperately seeking desire, okay? you are going to cook it. You're going to intentionally cook it, because at the end of the day, if the person you're talking about, your husband, is a human being, this works 100% of the time. Grounding. We're going to go towards grounding. Why grounding? Why? What does this has to do with feeling desired? Right? So let's say, for example, you experience rejection. That happens in real life. Whatever. You experience it doesn't mean they rejected you, right? You experienced a feeling of feeling undesired, unattractive. You felt that like a normal human being. That happens in real life, okay? And why? Because he turned away that particular night. He did not initiate, or he hasn't initiated in a while. Actually, you don't fully understand what's going on. He seems emotionally disconnected, right? So instead of overreacting or trying to, prove the worst case scenario, grounding will mean that you stop allowing that moment to define you. Okay, you go back to your source of truth, not truth, whatever you think truth is, which is your experience right now. You go back to your source of truth, right? You return back to gratitude. Okay, so we have 3 core pillars here. We'll call it the GPS, right? And the GPS is grounding, purpose, and self. Okay, I'm going to break them down, right? And how it translates to this, right? But the G also stands for gratitude, also stands for God. And what it means is that you go back to your source, you go back to your higher self, that self that doesn't overreact to momentary feelings of failure, right? You go back to that. It's difficult, okay? It's easier said than done, but it gets easier with time. And also the result you create from that is more long lasting, it's sustainable, and you feel more fulfillment from it. Everything you get from short term is either instant failure or short term success that will fail, which makes it even worse. Make sense? We're going somewhere. Remember, it's a process. You have to respect process. You respect patience, meaning time, right? And you respect prayer. Okay, so during this period, you're taking your time with yourself. You're enjoying the time with yourself. Okay, now from grounding, right? Again, you're able to engage gratitude, right? You engage your faith. You engage things that make you feel that responsibilities, life responsibility, things that also create greater good in the long term. You're playing the long game here, because you no longer want to end up in a place where, hey, he likes you like one night, and then the next 3 nights it destroys you even more, destroys your self-esteem even more. You want something that's stable, something that feels safe, something that's sustainable, something that you can always count on, because the other person also feel like they trust you, right? It's not about pretending that rejection does not hurt, okay? It's about learning what to do if you ever experience rejection ever again, okay? As opposed to allowing rejection to become your strategist. All right. So I mentioned a client earlier on, and she reached a point where her husband's attention carried way too much responsibility. And what usually, ladies, this is what you do. You do the extreme when this happens. You go to the extreme opposite. You might start dancing on the internet to feel good about yourself all over again. And there's nothing wrong with all those things. But again, if you go back and forth, you might start shooting quotes around the subliminal quotes on the internet and stuff like that. You start sharing stuff with him that you teach him how to be a husband. But really what you're trying to generate is desire. You want to feel attractive. You want to feel sexually desired by your husband. So if you can think deeper, think about it. Are you creating more of that, or you're destroying it further because of your emotional reaction in the short term? Something we got to pay attention to. But from grounding, we want to go in the direction of purpose. Let's talk about purpose. Remember, I told you there's 3 core pillars here. There's GPS, right? Grounding, purpose, self. So let's go into grounding. Let's talk about grounding. Let's talk about going from grounding into purpose. Okay. Why purpose, right? So rejection is painful. I think I've reiterated that a few times, right? I'm not trying to remind you. I'm just trying to tell you that it is what it is, right? But it's really about you knowing what to do with pain. If he shuts down, do you know what to do with that? Or you get angrier. You get, naturally, as a normal human being, Normal human being means you're majority, failure, it means loser, right? I hate to say it that way, but that's the reality, right? But people that are winners, they understand that there's more to life than just what they feel, right? So you experience that pain, you know what to do with it, right? So this is actually pain-driven purpose, right? So when I say purpose, you can't really have purpose in this respect unless you've experienced pain. It's pain-driven purpose, meaning you've seen the other side, you've experienced the other side, you've gone tried to do the testing route, you've done the proving route, right? You've done everything that panic and fear tells you to do, and you're noticing that it failed. So you're learning this for the first time. Purpose means you engage your life mission and your purpose. Remember what I told you about patience. Okay, prayer, patience, process. You understand? Prayer, patience. PPP, 3P.